aspects of consciousness, we have come quite far. As His Holiness pointed out once, if we go back into the Dark Ages, and they truly were the Dark Ages, and then we arrive at what was called the Renaissance, the Age of Enlightenment. And we see great music and art and writing, etc., arising. And we even come to modern day in terms of the violence and atrocities. If you think back, maybe you haven't seen the battlefields that arose from World War II in northern France, also in World War I, gravestones after gravestones, little white markers. The only thing left of those who sacrificed and fought sometimes in senseless wars. But then again, we're no longer impaling individuals, at least physically, upon poles, or decapitating them, or cutting off their feet so they can't run, or removing their tongue so they can't speak. We find other ways to sort of deter the evolution of consciousness. But the evolution of consciousness cannot be deterred. It will continually expand. And I would like to think it will do so for the betterment of those who inhabit this awakened consciousness. I would like to think that we are a part of this continuation of the evolution of consciousness. And as I thought again yesterday about the seeding of clouds to bring the shower of blessings of rain, in the same way, might we be able to seed a collective consciousness that brings about one song I heard, oh, my sad return to home. But the other one at the very end of this track was an enlightened society, an enlightened civilization, an enlightened planet, inhabited by the consciousness of enlightened beings. I would like to endeavor to be part of that continued development. Maybe not seeing it, but already we do see it. Change is occurring, so do not be distraught. Change is occurring. We are at least outwardly putting forth the value of being kinder and more compassionate, supportive, caring, acceptance, and not tolerance, begrudging, but tolerance that arrives from joyous acceptance. So change is occurring. And as if you're wondering, to put something to rest, yes, I had a wonderful birthday. It was quiet and practice, and it was one wonderful time. Maybe when I'm 75, if I should be fortunate enough, who knows? Maybe we make a party. No promises. But better to reflect on the preciousness of human birth. So this was my practice, to go, oh, so fortunate to meet with the Dharma, to meet with authentic teachers, to have guidance, to practice. Even I called Rinpoche, Chojo Rinpoche left yesterday. How fortunate to receive blessings of Toku, real Toku. And this particular Toku, we already know, we have many past life. Not something I made up, but something he said to me. We have many past life connections, and will continue to do so in the future. So he gave many blessings, and talked about lives to come, etc., things of that sort. But the main focus is I was trying to say, and I'll come back to, in 73 years, it's like, what do I do now? In 73 years, what have I learned? You would think I would have gathered some knowledge and some wisdom. And I have about enough to fill what do you call a thumbnail? You know, the little nail, the little thing you put on your thimble. Yeah, about that much, a thimble's worth. But within that, I thought I would start off and just say, what have I learned? What could I tell them? What could I inspire? Live life with passion. And as Master Lee said, when it rains on all dogs. Don't think yourself to be something special. A little happiness, hopefully great happiness, but strife and upset, challenges and suffering and laughter and sadness and tears, they come into everyone's life if you're living. So live life, and live life with joyous passion, good, bad, or indifferent. So when we say, oh, blessings of loving kindness and compassion, peace, harmony, and sometimes I was thinking last night, happiness, no, joyousness. Why did I want to put joyousness at the end? Because peace lies within. As you've heard me say before, Master Wu, the only peace that you will experience this morning is the peace that you brought to your seat as you sit down. And harmony is something you also create within and without through one's actions. And those actions are motivated by the altruistic thought that I will engage in the practice of Buddha Dharma, or the practice of enlightened truth, Buddha Dharma, enlightened truth. Because sometimes when we hear the word Buddha Dharma, we think, oh, this only pertains to some Buddhist sutra or Buddhist practice. Buddha Dharma is the practice of enlightened truth, isn't it? The Buddha, enlightened. So enlightened truth, bodhicitta. So with that motivation, one can always create harmony, even in the midst of the most dire situations, challenging situations, which we have been going through and will continue to do so. So harmony, peace and harmony, it's not something that we can go out and buy. How many people have, and just like us, more than likely, you are all blessed. We are all blessed. We have really all of the essentials of what we need. But we still find dissatisfaction. And we still make excuses and complain about what we don't have, when we have everything that we need. So harmony and peace and harmony right now is the old saying, be at peace, something out of maybe the Middle East, biblical times. Be at peace, my children. Some old prophet and maybe Atisha may have said, be at peace, my children. So I think I can say that at 73, my children. So please live a life of peace and seek to create harmony. Do not be shackled by ideas and words of hatred and actions, etc. And wherever you can, however you can, inspire others to connect to harmony within, harmony in their actions, harmony in their words, harmony in their thinking. And if we can do that, then with compassion, don't seek to harm anyone, even those who may harm us. It doesn't mean that we lay down and allow others to abuse us, etc. Because being responsible is also standing up and speaking your mind when things are not correct. And sometimes when things are not correct, create a deafening silence and observe the absurdity. Compassion, having the desire and the wish that not one sentient being suffer, and that one is not the cause of suffering to others, which inadvertently, through our ignorance, our desire, our attachment, our anger, we cause. So thus, we do non-Vajrasattva to amend and to recognize and to accept the consequences of those actions, good, bad, or indifferent. So the last one is joyous. Joyous, we were saying the last teaching, I think, acceptance or patient forbearance, patient forbearance. But I changed it to patient perseverance, but patient perseverance joyously. However it is coming, we find a way to be joyous, even in this midst of this last and continuing pandemic, that we approach it with not dread, but with a certain joyousness of each day. May I awaken to be of greater benefit to those who are suffering, to those who have less than myself, for those who have more than myself. But to engage life with an open heart, your flower, whatever moves you, let it be expressed, not with being disgruntled or feeling put upon, with a frown upon your face. But even in the midst of great disasters, you still find a way to have joyous grace. In this brief encounter with this life, up and down and difficult situations, here and there, so many things barely can remember. But I think at every one of those turns throughout this small, minuscule existence is to always come back with a joyous and an open heart, not hatred, not anger, respect for oneself and respect for others. To not talk negatively. Sometimes jokingly we talk about the pimple on Aunt Mary's nose and how big it is. And oh, she wants to kiss me. No, stay away. Just kidding. We all tell fish stories and make fun. But even in the telling of your stories, like many of my teachers, they would tell these wild stories and then they would laugh and go, just kidding. Just telling some wild stories, Rinpoche would talk about zombies. So again, as you go forward from these days on, maybe it's just as I said to my other class the other day, basic goodness. Trungpa Rinpoche was a pioneer. He was a radical for sure. And he definitely ruffled many mind feathers. But one of the statements that comes across that seemsly I think everyone can relate to, basic goodness. Do you have the flower of basic goodness within? We all do. Maybe the question is, do we nourish that flower? What is it that moves you? This is your flower. So we have many ways to access this quality of basic goodness. In accessing basic goodness, or loving kindness and compassion, joyousness and equanimity, this is all the petals of that flower of basic goodness. When you are not expressing or radiating that quality, you know. You can just check. Or you blind yourself to, what am I feeling? What am I doing? Wake up. Wake up. So from this moment on, as you have been doing, loving kindness and compassion, joyousness and equanimity, not just words in some book. You don't need words. You know the truths already. The truth lies within each and every one of us. And even though our struggles may be arduous and they may be light, there may be somewhere in between, and we fret about them in the middle of the night. But at the end of the day, when we look, we will see that everything that has come into being has come from me. And the Shaolin Master says, the path you follow is the path you choose to create. How will you continue to go forward? Will you really sit down every day and practice and go, I am not practicing for myself. I am practicing for the ants that are crawling at my feet. And may in their next life, they evolve to the height of their potentiality and feats. In the process, maybe one also receives some merit, which we do not keep. So to really practice as the old yogis, the tradition of the old yogis from which we descend, I hope the blessings of those masters rain down upon you. May they penetrate your body, speech, and mind like the rays of the sun and the stars and the moon at night. And when you look into the sky, I was talking to another colleague, I think I may have mentioned this before, Buckminster Fuller, the creator of the concepts of geodesic dome. Someone said to him, asked him, when you look into space, what do you see? And he just laughed. Why you ask such a ridiculous question of me? Why should I look into that which I am consumed in the essence thereof? We all in space collectively be. So we closed our dialogue, our conversation. Return and recognize your place among the stars in space. Yeah, we said like this. Return, meaning to recognize your place among the stars in space. And then last night, looking into the space, what if, in essence, you are the conscious stars? You are the stars. You are the conscious entities existing in the totality of the cosmos. And just like a star, we all eventually will go supernova, burning so bright at the moment where it appears we cease to exist, but not really. It is only the energies that will bring forth the next existence. So let's return to our place among the stars in space. And like Buckminster Fuller reminds us, Einstein reminds us, perhaps not looking into space. Be space. Recognize the true nature of what you already are. Space and light in unity. And allow the evolution that is already at hand maybe to accelerate. That the consciousness of the totality of this planet and all of its inhabitants are evolving. Space-time is expanding. And consciousness is not separate, nor is the cosmos separate from that consciousness. It's integral to, we would say, the space-time continuum and the realities in which we perceive. So how can we go forward? Not just mumbling and beating the drum and ringing the bell, but to evolve to the height of one's potentiality is to have that motivation, aspiration. Oh, I must read Doku Urgente talks about aspiration, to aspire. Aspiration, inspire, to breathe it in. Aspiration, to aspire to rise. Breathe in and rise. Because if you do not breathe in, then you will die. This language is wonderful when we begin to deconstruct it. Anyway, probably enough said. You understand is that now, at least for me, perhaps I will see 2 more cycles of 12. I look forward to the journey. Some of you, please come and travel with me as we make our journey through the cosmos and through the grandness of the multiverse. And who knows how many different dimensions of reality we shall see. Take a breath in, please. Bring your hands together. So again, this is Milan touching Gurme Doji Rinpoche. It's simple. What does he say? Omniscient. I pay homage to all of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, past, present, and future. I make prostrations to my Guru, the entirety of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the bestower of all energies, benefits, happiness, harmony, joyousness, being unchangeable, immutable. So it is unchangeable, this enlightened quality. From the sphere of peace and great bliss, from the sphere, where is this sphere? No place other than our own consciousness. You display an infinite multitude dance of illusions. Even though it is pure from the beginning, in the middle, and the end, it still arises in a myriad of display magical illusions which we ourselves create. May we be blessed with the knowledge and wisdom of understanding that will allow us to elevate and to bring these qualities to all sentient beings. Yo idea nudu do consisum do jene. Yo madunu nadu ba denish ba ku asho. And take a breath in again. Visualize the doji, not doji central right now. So Tuesday, I believe, is Sojong. So we'll do Sojong practice today. But to start off, just some news. Lama Rinzin is recovering, I believe. His friend is also getting better and recovering. Unfortunately, the third member of their party passed away. We hope that all of those that are directly and indirectly connected to us, may they be blessed by the compassionate nature of Drupal Randro Jerezi. Umane peme umre, 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 peme umre, umane 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 peme umre, Rest your mind in the natural state, unadorned. So again, as I was just hearing, engaging in the practice of Buddha Dharma, as I said earlier, to be of benefit to all sentient beings. So our intention or motivation to practice is because through eons of existence, back up for a moment, thought I was talking yesterday, how many universes have come and gone? And even within our galaxy, billions, it's called Sagan, billions of stars. And throughout the universe, the cosmos, billions of galaxies. This is what I think is so amazing. Billions of galaxies. billions of stars. And each galaxy at the center of it is called a black hole, and even something called a white hole, and even something that is so fantastic, the cosmos, and how we have come to exist as life forms, conscious of our existence in this multiverse cosmos. Is amazing. We just sort of take it for granted and squander it. And not until you realize how quickly it has gone. What might I have done different as I moved along? At least for me, I tried to make the best use of it and always be an agent, a messenger, ambassador, an emissary. And my favorite joke. And hopefully through that process, I was not an imbecile in my actions. And perhaps I endeavored to inspire a few to rise to the height of their potential. This is what I say to you. Don't dally about. You'll look back and go, oh my goodness, it went so quickly. It slipped through my hands, like trying to catch shadows at night. You wake up and it's the end. Not just yet, as Lama Dorji says, don't worry, my time is not yet. But as we can see, the time of departure and the time of arrival, sometimes who knows what you'll be. So again, I was thinking, why we practice today? Benefit of all sentient beings. Why you turn the wheel? Benefit of all sentient beings. Why you make the Allah? Benefit of all sentient beings. That doesn't negate the benefit that also is the second, that which is beneficial to self and that which is beneficial to others. It is beneficial to be kind and compassionate. It is beneficial to others and ourselves to exhibit joyousness. It is beneficial to practice patience, generosity, perseverance, ethics, concentration, and wisdom. As I was telling someone else, being Buddhist meaning merely those who are inside. And to be inside, one has taken refuge, as I was speaking, I think maybe last time. So you are inside because you have taken refuge. And those who take refuge and are inside appear to those 6 qualities: loving kindness and compassion, joyousness and equanimity, knowledge and wisdom. This is Buddhist, but Buddhist merely is to be a good, basic human being. So I hope it alerts like a light. When you're not being a basic, good human being, immediately you change and go, just kidding. And you exhibit the quality of the flower of the basic, good human being. That we don't talk negatively about others. It's like we said last week, when someone is saying something that is completely not appropriate, and we just maybe remain silent, change the subject. Or we just go, yes, yes. But that yes doesn't mean I condone or agree with what you're saying. I'm merely respecting your right to believe and to conceive in the way that you have orchestrated it. And through skillful means, if it's possible, you can shift the climate to one of basic goodness. Take a breath in, please. Rest within yourself this moment. to be at peace. Maybe as you continue to hear the words of Talopa, in this moment of resting, whatever has gone before, leave it alone, let go. Again, contemplating yesterday, let go of all that has gone before. The Buddha in a little saying says, if you want to know all, forgive all, including ourselves. We hold on to our negative experiences like chains around our neck and stones upon our back. And we blunder through this life only at the time of our departure to think we will put them down. But the residue of the weight follows us to the next round. So put down the weight and let go of what is past. Many of us have experienced, maybe you had traumatic childhood, some unpleasant events. We didn't have a good relationship with a mother or father or a boss or something. It's just chemical residue at this moment. Let it go. And then worry. We even worry, oh, will I have a negative reaction to the vaccination? Will I get the vaccination? When will I get the vaccination? How will I keep my job? Do I have enough money? What committee they're going to stick me on now that I really don't want to be on and don't care about? And I don't care if you repeat it, they know it. And we go on and on and on. Worry, worry, worry. Talopa, all the great masters, let it go. It doesn't mean be irresponsible. It's that why keep regurgitating and throwing up the past and ingesting that will make us sick by worrying about what has come, what has not come. And then present moment, even in the present moment, it's like fidgeting and moving about. Let it go. It's talking about this present moment. We know we have responsibilities and rent and car and children and pets and this and that. But for right now, let it go. To just be present. Be present in the moment without fabricating. Then, what are you trying to figure out? Like maybe, oh, we have to figure out, oh, how am I going to pay the rent? Where am I going to live? When am I going to get the car fixed? Did I do my taxes? I got to go cut the grass. I got to do weeding, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, my head is spinning. Don't try to figure it out. It doesn't mean be irresponsible, but I don't have to figure it out right now. And the last one, the next thing he says, again, don't try to make anything happen. So just sit. We're not analyzing thought. We're not chasing. We're not suppressing. Remember, Doji, when your thoughts come in the moment of resting in this present moment, you just sort of smile with joyousness. There's that word. And oh, my friends, oh, my brothers and sisters, oh, there's mom, come on in. Or in your room, you have a pet snake and your mischief nature ties it in a knot. And maybe mom comes in and goes, you tied the snake in a knot. How many times I told you not to do that? And maybe you go, don't worry, just leave it alone and watch. And the snake unfolds itself and just rest. I want to be like this. Unrest, just rest. So again, this is what Talopa is talking about. And the last one he says, in terms of Gero Dorji, when the thieves of thoughts come to distract you, leave them alone, because the light is on, but nobody is home. In fact, the house is completely empty. And a thief coming into an empty house, no jewelry, no silverware, no candelabras, no trinkets, nothing there. Oh, a waste of my time. Maybe I'll go down the street and see how I can peddle my ware. So then what does Salopa tell you? Relax. When? Right now, upon your seat, just relax. Relax. Right now. And do what? Rest. So in the process of meditating, when Tilopa says rest, and the Dzogchen master says, meditation is not doing, but getting used to. Getting used to doing what? Rest. Breathe in. Breathing out. Rest. And in this conscious moment of resting, all of the enlightened Buddhists and Bodhisattvas, lineage masters, gurus, yogis, and all the way down to the lowest beggars, they exist. And they all rise up in a singularity of form of Guru Rinpoche. Thus we can easily say, most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible, for the benefit of all sentient beings. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible, for the benefit of all sentient beings. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible, for the benefit of all sentient beings. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Sentient beings are infinite. I vow to liberate them. Illusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Illusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Then in your mind's eye, you visualize all of the bodhisattvas and all of the arhats standing before you, bestowing their blessings, that whatever one is about to engage in, has engaged in, or will engage in, will have great success and be of benefit to others. Sangye no no ge no ba be zo ma za zo zo da ye zo zo ne ya ba san de no no go de ya ba ye da da ba gon la gon ba da ye da ba je go da ba za da da ni Zje namje dango da deba yeje semba ra draba de de taje tabe wa ba satsa zamba jundur ba de doje je re don wo no tambe da ye nembo namba nanga nikbo bajor gondor zo no ba doje barga bondo no dawa de nama ye zaze lana daje baje jo 전주 선박에가 산자로 렌렌 도조 다시 저리가 도조 밤다 마고 라마라 엔다도 나 밤조 바레로 제조 자자 왕고 돈도 데렌데 도제가제 자제 Jurgawa Jonjenge Ma Chidu Changu Debe Tabewe Daji Lamo Gela Sata Lu Samba Changu Changu Debe Medun Danda Nambu Bono Sombario Luma Mene Zandando Sete Tande Guru Dam Doje Nanda Doje Doje Jen Barwa Doje Doje Zezon Dezo Gine Taje Zeden Doba Dola Zaza Tato Deje Jowa Zumbola Gidja Jowa Jamba Don Don Belba Zendon Yeshidu Tashi Dele Mondo Rajo Jende Jowa Zumbola Gidja Jowa Jamba Don Don Belba Zendon Yeshidu Tashi Dele Ado dendri dirwa zumba la gende dirwa zewa mondo ne dondo baba zedon ishidu tashi dele monzo soma Jonam Jele Gele John De John Je Bezo Gola Gubu Kanyaba Jenjo Jembo Digezo Dowa Da Sambayi Sange Dodange Don La Jenjo Nebo Digeba Daba Da Negabzo Jizera Nanze Tanjebe Zombe Zenzen Jodo Da Zange Jodo Nege De Zombe Zenzo Zenge Do Jeze Naga Naba Da Dowa Jeze Nego Ba Deze Doje Nego Ne Dowa Daga Zewa So Jonam Jele Gele Jo De Jo Je 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 Be So Gola Kumbo Kanya Ba Je Jo Jembo Jege So Dowa Da Da Zamba Ye Zenge Doda Ge Dona Jenjo Nebo Jege Ba Da Ba Da Ne Kabzo Je Zera Benze Dan Je Zombe Zenzen Jondo Da Tange Dondo Nege De Zombe Jenzo Zemge Do Jeze Namga Naba Tando Wa Jeze Nego Ba Deze Doje Nego Ne Dowa Derga Sewa Su Jonan Jele Gede Jonde Jonde Jebe So Gula Kondo Kenya Ba Jenjon Jembo Jege Zondo Wa Dada Zamba Ye Senge Doda Gedona Jenjo Nebo Jege Ba Daba Da Nega Zoji Jira Nenze Danje Bezon Bejenje Jondo Da Zange Dodo Negede Zombe Jenjo Zemge Do Jeze Namga Naba Da Dowa Jeze Nego Ba Deze Doje Nego Ne Dowa Daga Zawa So all phenomena arise from their causes. Their causes are explained by the Buddha. Cessation of these causes too are taught thus by the great sage. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach, recognize full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then, may I too remain and dispel the misery, suffering, and the causality of ignorance, attachment, misplaced desire, and anger in this world through loving kindness and compassion. Shevge Lumbo Jowa Jebe Kusage Gogo Chula Chatsago Tayata Umane Mune Maha Muna Yesuha Tayata Mune Maha Muna Yesuha Tayata Mune Maha Muna Yesuha Tayato Mune Maha Muna Yesuha Tayato Mune Maha Muna Yesuha Tayado Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Tayado Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Tayado Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Zomane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Zomane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Zomane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Zumane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Zumane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Zumane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Zumane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Zumane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Zumane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Zumane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Zumane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Maha Mana Yesua Mane Mane Zumane Zomane mane mahamane yozoa mane mane mahamane yozoa. Zomane mane mahamane yozoa mane mane yozoa mane. Zomane mane mahamane yozoa. Umane mane mahamane yozoa. And then as you allow your hands just to rest in your lap, so you assume the posture of the Bodhisattva, the equanimity, the gesture of equanimity, receiving the blessings of the Buddhist self and others. And in the presence of the Buddha, as we said earlier, in the presence of the Buddha, we have already awakened the enlightened quality, or better still, to at least consider the recognition of that quality that lies within each and every one of us. This is what we must recognize. Then in that presence, we practice Tonglen. In the beginning, the practice of giving and taking really is to open us up, is to make us in a more empathetic quality, that we open the stone of our heart that really is able to empathize joyously with those of others, including ourselves. Then, as you continue to practice, as the great bodhisattvas could bring about healing and harmony and joy within themselves, which radiated out to others. So the sole purpose of the bodhisattva, though, as we've said, is to engage in practice for the benefit of others, to begin to weave the fabric of enlightened consciousness that envelops all of humanity, all of life, throughout the totality of the cosmos, other realities, other dimensions, other worlds, through the filament, the electrobiomagnetic filament that permeates all space, is to connect to those corridors and fill them with the grace of loving kindness and compassion. Practice Tonglen, giving first. It says giving, then taking. Giving from where? From your flower. Lotus, moon, radiant light, happiness, blessings, merit, fortune, loving kindness and compassion, like a beacon in the darkness of night, to ferry the sentient beings from the rocket shores so they don't crash, but they land safely. Practice that way. Count the outgoing breath as a marker. one's intentions have been fulfilled. And as you breathe out, space between the thumbs, the eyes come to the horizontal plane. Without effort, breathe gently in and out through your mouth. And the Buddha, imagined, visualized outside, now merges with that one who has visualized. One and the same. So to acknowledge and consider that the essence of the mind of the enlightened ones, that its primordial manifestation is the same as our mind at the primordial manifestation. The difference is, as Rinpoche would say, the enlightened ones have recognized, stabilized, and stayed. The unenlightened ones have only had a glimpse, but no confidence, and thus stray. Recognize. And as you breathe out, that which has been recognized has neither come nor gone. Then please you just rest for a little bit. Your coffee, your tea, your water. I may have gone through this before, but this is from my teacher, our teacher, Duko Urban, such a kind face, and with such delicate grace and poise, he holds up a flower. The importance of aspiration. So this part one, I'll read part two tomorrow. To make noble wishes and aspirations in combination with our good actions is incredibly important. Otherwise, the result of positive karma will not ripen in the right direction. Whenever one does virtuous acts, one should always form the wish. May this be used toward complete enlightenment. May I become the great guide, like the captain of a ship that can sail all sentient beings across to the other shore. May I quickly obtain complete enlightenment, and having obtained the state of a Buddha, may I guide all sentient beings to liberation and the awakened state itself. That kind of aspiration is incredibly precious and makes the difference between whether good karma ripens as fleeting pleasure or whether it is used to lead toward liberation and enlightenment. So again, we should take this to heart, as we were saying earlier, the arousing of basic goodness and engaging in practice for the benefit of all sentient beings with the attitude or the altruistic thought of bodhicitta. Take the example of the many beings in this world. A human rebirth is the result of wholesome karmic actions, but very few humans have the interest in spiritual practice. This is because most did not combine their good actions with noble wishes and aspirations. So it's a twofold thing that must go together in order for the bird to fly. On the other hand, some people travel to Nepal from faraway countries. They are not forced to come to Nagigampa in particular, or even to the east. No one forced me to go to Nagigampa. I didn't even know Nagigampa existed. It took me 2 weeks being in Kathmandu, being with the Chogi Nimar Rinpoche, to even know who Toko Urgum Rinpoche was. Why did they spend all this money and travel this long distance with so many difficulties? It is because their past good karma was combined with pure aspiration. It is the force of those aspirations that bring them all this way to receive teachings. Otherwise, there would be no point in coming here. It's just a big hassle. So you see the difference between the incredibly enormous number of human beings in this world and the tiny handful who actually use this human existence to pursue the spiritual path. It is said the latter are as few as stars in the morning sky. So I heard this directly sitting at the feet of the great master. May it also inspire you. May it move you and nourish your flower. And obviously, if we did not have the meritorious fruition of our karma coming to pass, not even this present moment would last. It would not exist. It would have dissipated and never originated from the past. So as I started off, is it not a blessing that we have this gathering through this technology, through this space-time dimensionality, that existing in our 6 dimensions of existence, that now we can communicate through a 2-dimensional reality. So many things are happening in this present moment that are miraculous, both physically and metaphysically. So nourish your aspiration through motivation and intent that arises from bodhicitta. And that bodhicitta is supported by the 4 immeasurables: loving kindness and compassion, joyousness, and equanimity. But that is not enough. You must engage also in the 6 supports of the bodhisattva: patience, generosity, perseverance, ethics, concentration, and wisdom. But even if one has this in place to truly move to the next moment of grace, recognize the preciousness of human birth. Look around you. How many people have died in this year and continue to do so from the virus and various other causes, but we are still here. How precious is your life now? I can tell you at 73, how did I get this far? How did I come to be? To the grace of many, many people, including you. Then it is precious for sure, but it is ever so fragile and fleeting. One moment you're traipsing through the mountains and sitting looking out into the sky, and the next moment you die. Because who knows, something you ate. As Mama Rinzen said, he now really understands the preciousness of human life and the impermanence and death thereof. Then, karma, cause and effect. So pay attention to your actions, physical, vocal, mental. And the last one is I say to myself, I tried, but failing miserably. It's like chain and shackles of a bear claw, which is not a good image, in the snare of samsara. I renounce my attachment to samsara. As like a pig, I wallow in it every day. But the last part is go back to the 4 measurables. Do it joyously, because you won't get another chance that you will more likely remember. So all of these things have to be integrate it, to really understand what does it mean to practice and engage in the evolution of consciousness through the process of seeking the truth and doing so for the benefit of all sentient beings. So I should stop talking, but I'm taking the liberty because it's still my birthday. I have 2 birthdays. Up until the 7th grade, my birthday was my birthday was April the 28th. From the 7th grade on, it became April the 24th. I think they made a big mistake to begin with. On the island of Guam, you never know what you might get. A joke in Guam, we always say it's called the Island of Thieves. And the reason it's called the Island of Thieves, supposedly, I'm also of Portuguese descent. So when the Portuguese came to Guam and they left their ships in the harbor and would go onto the island, the myth is that the Guamanians and the Chamorros, they stole everything except the nails that held the ship together. So then Guam became known as the Island of Thieves. So anyway, just a little short story, maybe to amuse you. But in all of these things that we have been aspiring toward, we have many, many examples. So we start with Guru Rinpoche. And now, where before, 20 years ago, I can say 20 years ago, I dragged through the mud up to Nagi. I did. More than 20 years. But now you can go on YouTube and you can see our tradition. And sometimes it's good to see that this is not, it only seems to be foreign to our locale, but throughout the Himalayan mountains and places, whether it's China or whether it's Japan or Korea, this is vast and pretty common. So sometimes we are displaced. We are displaced entities, merely having reincarnated here in the West, so we could be of benefit to all sentient beings. I wish you could remember your home from the monasteries and the hermitages and caves and cottages that we emerged from many, many lifetimes ago. And here we are, continuing. So invoke Guru Rinpoche. May they all be blessed. May they all remember. May they all have a dream or some sign that connects them to their former time. So thus, we appeal, Guru Rinpoche, please bless. Lama Juge Gola Zuade, Purian Bama Junela Zuade, Deje Noge Drumbe Sanga Jud Gonjon Yodan Yode, Deje Gaden Jawa Jebego, Doje Jedra Nezo Susoroda, Lama Luzo Zugula Zovade, Purian Bama Junela Zovade, Deje Nigden Dende Janganzu, Doje Jembo Jowe Dala Jan Gala.
Urgen ben majo nella suvade. Gondo dozam gera gera zen ben magera nella suzurka. Suzo nana dunda kuzo so kata nama nama suvade. Zene zenbe tunde tunde da doje dondo nonde toryaka nojo tumbe tumbe tozongi. Kode 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 zombe ba dreme uzo sala suvade. Sejen gunjen dola tese de dreme hoso rinda dozo zo uza nonje namge nado ba jeme lebe zala so ba de duzo kunye bema jinege de bo gozo gozo do zange nende minde kunzo kunzo jembe zala so ba de omen jogi ngenge podana duzo sange koje kudo ke ranza kugo kudo zebe Zoe name namla sola de Riro menjogi yogi bodando dozo samge goji gozo Renzem gogo gozo donze bazoe name zela zola de Gyewa kando yondan lama danjo me jogi bala gojo zen Sadam nanje wanzo nejo ne doji jeje go bam no to so Uma, uma, single. A I U Re Ve Le Le E E O Ana Ga 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 Za 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 Nga Da 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 Na Da 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 Na Ba 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 Ma Yo Wa 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 Shaka Za Ge Za Ome Nama Hido Ba Wa Wa Hido Da Ga Da Ha Yo Wa Da Da Gen Sa Yo No Ro Ha Yo Ma Mi Ne Ma Ha Sama Na So Ha Ze Badra Samaya Sa Sa Ho Ba Ho Om Ritsa Brahmane Bhavata Ye Soha Ze Badra Samaya Za Za Ho Ba Ho Om Badra Amrita Kundale Hana Hana Om He Raja Yene Honda Ozo Tobe Lama Da Nizo Bebe Gunje Jorge Gabo Lajo Jo Dutse Gabio Meza Wa Mebe Gunan Do Genamga Baza Sama Sa Doji Sampa and Nema before you, single or dual. Sanye Dodan Zoge Jonam La Chanjo Badu Dane Kapsuji Daji Zinzo Gebe Zonam Jola Benze Sange Joba Jo Sanye Dodan Zoge Jonam La Chanjo Badu Dane Kapsuji Daji Zinzo Gebe Zonam Jola Benze Sange Joba Jo Sange Dodan Zoge Jonam La Chanjo Badu Dane Kapsuji Daji Zinzo Gebe Zonam Jola Benze Sange Joba Jo Za Mamu Zoshi Naranda Temba Good. Umbaza Mahazvi Haraga Dene Doji Torua Good Good Sir Ram Zuarva Zudo Sava Tama Zube Tu melende demde rumbo jenini jen getwe nanu toru Gordo Doro Numbo Bunzo Zumba Dojen Ganzo Jembogo Oma Hum Bume Bate Sapari Laba Sadamaza Sada Nabate Ticheta Banata
Namo Zavadata Gata Bayu Mishu Mugube Sabaratata Mogate Saparana Nakamosoha. Namo Zavadata Gata Bayu Mishu Mugube Sabatata Mogate Saparana Iram Garana Kamasoha. Namo Zavadata Gata Bayu Mishu Mugube Sabatata Mogate Saparana Iram Kamasoha. Da da de la do tempo da do 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 de da do ga da da de la do tempo da de ge de da do da da de la do tempo da de ge de da do come pate yare gata. So to acknowledge, to offer, and to liberate all the obstructors. Zomba zama haswe harakarhon dene toche torwa do Uze ram yam sarva zuto sarva dame zube zuto no tumbe dende demde rambo je neje jege je we dando dorwa go do doro do bo zo zo bo do janga zo jembo lo soma ho ma ho 마오 사르부터라가 사르자 사르부터라가 사르자 사르부터라가 자 몸사바맹에네 넘어자바다다가 바이 미주무고베 사바드도게데 사파라나 이람그리람 그리한나 이람 바멘다 나의 소하 몸사바맹에네 넘어자바다다가 바이 미주무고베 사바드도게데 사파라나 이람 그리하나 Kam Gurehana Iram Balinda Daye Soha Om Sabamingene Nomozobada Gata Baye Mijumube Sava Tata Mogate Saparana Iram Gurana Kam Gurehana Iram Balinda Daye Soha. Sunchen Samje Jova Dan Jova Gunda Dova Goji Donyanda Dorye Konda Dova Goji Donge Mebe Jumba Jumba Dan Medewa Goji Nune Tenda Dan Dewa Nende Sebe Mela Nama Goji Sunchen Samje Jova Dan Dova Gunda Dova Goji Donyanda Dorye Konda Dova Goji Donge Mebe Jumba Jumba Dan Medewa Senjen Janje Jova Dan Dova Gunda Dova Guji Donyada Doveri Gunda Dova Guji Donge Mebe Jamba Jamba Dan Medewa Guji Nindanda Dan Dewa Nende Zebe Mela Nemba Guji Velma Huntoha The five celestial Buddhas, may you surround me and create a fence, the protective fence, so that all negativities stay out. I offer everything. Jakzor Wandun Joje Jowa Dan Jejo Renye Dwenjen Sawai Gewa Jeje Da Jeje Jeba Zanje Joba Zanje Je Sashi Boje Jojo Mejo Dram Pribala Zede Zambagi Senge Zende Mede Bobe Ye Dorgam Nunda Zenda Joba Jo Edan Randa Bandra Daga Mede Daya Sashi Boje Jojo Mejo Dram
Revelance and it is and by gaze and gaze and the medical way. Those and that of our joy, we don't run them and the diamond. Saje Boje Jojo Medo Drum Revelance and it is and by gaze and gaze and the medical way. Don't run those and that of our joy. We don't run them under the Midataya me. Badru Satu Samaya, Manu Palaya, Badru Satu Denova. Dedu Mebova, Zudogaya, Mebova, Zudogaya, Mebova, Anarata Mebova. So was it a Mebrea Zazaragama Zutume, Sirum Guru, Bhagavan. Sada Dada Gata Badramani Muzavan Bava Samaya Satua. Badru Satu Samaya, Manu Palaya, Badru Satu Denova, Dedu Mebova. Sudogaya Mebova, Zudogaya Mebova. Yeje Gyuju na Joje Gidabdu Zema Badra Sama Yaza. So Doji Sampa is above. And we saw the Badra Sattva. Danye Dama Ziru Bhagye Dawa Nevu. Mohole Nama Doje Gada Bondo Dabadu Doje Jeje Nima Jola Dabado Joja Dabo Jola Jeje Zala Bado Dodo Dava Tembe Dane Tamba Ladego Draba nenge tonwe we yada tero ozozane duje tanda zenge dawa dada zambaye dada gamzo zenge lada doryo dro nedo tere nedo te malata vasedo Badru Zatu Samaya, Manupalaya, Badru Zatu Denova, Nabova, Zudogaya, Nabova, Zubogaya, Nabova, Nabova, Zovazin, Zuzume, Zedum Zidum Guru Hung, Ha Ha Ha, Zawada, Zadua, Badru Zatu Samaya, Manupalaya, Badru Zatu Denova, Zudogaya. Tubogaya Nabova, Anarado Nabova, so as the Nebea to Zaraka, Zetum Sirum, Aha, Bhagavan, Savada, and Bavana, Zamaya, Baduza to Zamaya, Manobaraya, Baduza to Nabova, Zulugaya Nabova, Zulugaya Nabova. Amarado Mebova, so as the Nebea to Zaraka, Zetum Sirum. Oh, Bhagavan, Savada, Sadu, Adam Badruza, do Samaya, Manova, Badruza, Anurado Mebova, Zavaziri, Mebea, Zaraga, Oh, Bhagavan, Sada, Gata, Badru, my name is Ovana, Hazumaya, Sadu, Badruza. Nanovaya, Badruza, Denova, Nabova, Sudogaya, Nabova, Sudogaya, Nabova, Anarado Nabova, Savaziri, Nebea, Zuzume, Zedum Zirum Guru, Hung Ha, Bhagavan, Savadaya, Samaya, Sadu, Badruza, Samaya, Manovaya, Badruza, Denova, Nabova, Sudogaya, Tubogaya, Nabova, Anarado Nabova, Savaziri, Nebea, Sada Dada Gada Badru Maneko Zovent Bava Mahazama Yozatu Badum Badru Zatu Samaya Mano Badaya Zubaya Mabua, Narado Mabua, so was it in every other Saddam Zirunguru, O Bhagavan, Savada, Anubalaya, but did Mabua, Zadam Sirim Guru, Sada Dada Baru, and it was all into Bhavana, Samayota, Samaya, the Mabua, Zudogaya, Mabua, Zubogaya, Mabua, Sidam Zirim Guru, Samaya, Badruzadu Zamaya, Manobadaya, Badruzadu Denova, Sudogaya Babua, Sudogaya Babua, Anaradu Babua, so was it in the way of the Saraka, Satam Sidim Guru, the Doadon Badruzadu Zamaya, Manobadaya, Sidam Zirim Guru, Badruzadu Zamaya, Manobadaya, Badruzadu Tenova, Sidam Zirim Guru, Samaya Zatu, Badruzadu Zamaya, Manobadaya, Anarado Mego, Zawazir, maybe at the Zaraga Mazda, Zorantibo, Samaya, Zadua, Sedum Sidim Guru Home, Zombadruza to Zamaya, so was it in a very other Zaragama to do Adam Badruza to Zamaya, Radon Evoga, so was it in a very other Zaragama to Sada Dada Gata Barum, Zamaya to do Adam Badruza to Zamaya, Zudogaya Mabua, Sidam Zidim Guru Home, Anobalaya, Badruzanu, Sidam Zidim Guru Home, Manobalaya, Badruzadu, Sidum Zidum Guru Hum, Zombadruzadu Zamaya, Manobalaya, Badruzadu, Anarado Magoa, so was it in every other Sedum Zidum Guru Hum, Samaya Adam Badruzadu, Samaya, Badruzadu, Denova, Anarado Magoa, so was it in every other Zaraga, Sedum Zidum Guru Hum, so that Badruman and Mutu, Bawa Maha, Samaya, Satu. Mongo dene meje konva yi damze namne gamzo na lama gumbo gamzo che soba doje jembe de doje jemba nje jen doba zanda targa abje Kunsodan Samwadan Ilaki Tamje Tamba Tamje Jola Sato Debata Netsu Tamje Debate So Chitobe Doje Tamba Zamba Jibe Mingebu Doje Tamje Tobani no Jaya Vajen, Udu Sudi Randa Tempe, Randa, Doje, Sabate, Doje, Kongi, Donje, Tova, Tubeto, so Kongi Dama, Yigi, Do, Subolo, Ale, Osu, Tube, Consulta, Tenda, Tibetos, Bring it then, Debe, Tengi, to Sangi, Padu, Dorse, Musura, Oh, Zomba Rosado, Maduzado, Zomba Rosado, Madruzado, Maduzado. You are the deity. We need many doji sapa, making a fence, a cosmic fence, a cosmic interlinking thread to weave a cloth around the whole planet, cleanse and purify the blessings of loving kindness and compassion, the causality of ignorance and attachment and desire and anger, may it be liberated. Om Badu Zadu Hum, 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 Om Badu Om Badu Zadu Hum, Om Badu Zadu Om Badu Zadu Hum, Om Badu Zadu Om Badu Zadu Hum, Om Badu Zadu. I will take responsibility. I will assume the mantle of responsibility to bring about a change in consciousness, starting with myself. May I be a catalyst for the evolution and the creation of an enlightened civilization. How many civilizations have come and gone? The Sumerian, the Greek, the Romans, the Anasazi, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Spanish, on and on. What makes us think that this civilization itself will not disintegrate? But it could go in a different way if we evolve. Om Badu Sato Hum, 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 Om Badu Sato Hum. Om Badu Sato Hum, Om Badu Sato Hum. Om Badu Sato Hum, Om Badu Sato Hum, Om Badu Sato Hum. Om Badu Sato Hum, Om Badu Sato Hum. Om Badu Sato Hum, Om A I U Rebe Rebe E O Ana Kaga Gaganga Zada Zanya Tada Tanda Tada Tada Baba Bama Yawala Wa Shaga Saha Sha Om Badu Sato Samaya Manupaya Badu Sato Denova Dedu Sudogaya Naboa Sudogaya Naboa Ananato Nekoa Lava City Nebraya Zaragama Zutume Zudum Guru Hum Ha 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 Baro and Bava Dabagata Baruma Nebutama Samaya Satua Umedama Heto Barava Heto Tagata Haya Lata Amana
now to offer the Amrita, Ratna, and Tonama, and light.
Reba ye je ma bo tam de bo do je nam do jo nam rita ma je je bo je to ba bo do jo nam nam de je to ma tam do nyo je je to ba bo gun jo do ba jun do ge je ta do me rata me ga de bo do do ba de ba de ze do do je da ba do ba bo a la la de ba se so 남게 나도 나의 전제 나마베 전도 군조 dongo데 바마 주주 전제 마도바 전제 듀메서 나젠바소 곰바도 자도 사마야 마노발라야 바도바도 데나바 데도도도 너보와 두도가야 너보와 두도가야 너보와 아나라도 너보와 저워시리 네브레야 자라노노 베든 베든 고로 홍 하하하 호바로와 자라다다가다 바로 만에 무조면데 아 자마야 자꾸 아 Dhammapalas. So as Master Lama Gelek says, now we instruct the Dhammapalas. Now you must keep your oath. You must do what you made an oath with Guru Rinpoche to do. We need your help now, please. Don't forget. We make offerings, we make a candle and light for you. So now we upheld our yin. Now you must uphold your yin. Namo Guru Be, Namo Guru Be, Namo Guru Be. Om Shri Benza Hera Ka Ruda Ruda Hong Jo Hong Pe Dene Baje Dane Ramya Dube Doje Tonyo Se Du Damse Yeje Yeme Dutse Tren Meze Namga Doje Trodu Eze Ram Doma Om 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 Shri Guru Vase Doye Yeje Meje Meje Sawa Sasura Doje 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 Senda Doje 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 Om Bhagavata Bhagavata Bige Sate Muru Mamada Rata Mamade Tomato Mabu Goda Damje Damje Benji Joda Doma Deje La Baje Damje Tenje Tomado Bene Deje Tomato Mato Genje Vena Jumba Songe Dobe Doje Soma Soma Yi Benje Doje Doba Gende Geda Doje Bodo Tomato Genje Doje Doje Doba Gada Dade Do Sage Doje Gato Dojo Se Dojo Goje Gato Soje Ju Jone Deme Dane Deme Go Jode Dada Meda Daba Je Jama Dade Done Done Do Sasu Gazo Gozo Jode Ge Keba Gazo Geze Gade Do Done 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 Do Doje Doje Lama Doje Do Sodo Jumbo Dama Doje Guru Nome Beni Dema Do Soje Gade Doje Dama Je Jena Dowe Doje Doje Do Doba Dodo Rada Dojo Do Doje Gode Dade Dado Jeje Zimba Sama Raja Sara Dode Doma Doma Do Doho Yage Zomba Doma Do Shri Vedo Bema Teta Deba Do Dosu Do Je Damge Bonge Doma Deje Ka Doda Doda Dode Dode Do Doje Yega Jimba Soge Ga Dobe Dode Dama Dama Yi Genye Doze Nova Gende Ge Dade Dode Dode Doma Do Gonye Sri 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 Nama Donye Donye Tenje Joba me gundo la je me do drazen wonder bawe bajeza Bema june nando do waga tado dembo zoda luwa me Zowa debzo drazen bajezo Jenje lajen deme no jozo Mama Veni Deva Dai Guru Padma Tora Bunna Jana Anya Siddhi Sri Mama Veni Deva Dai Guru Padma Bunna Jana Anya Siddhi Sri Om Mama Veni Deva Guru Padma Doya Bunna Jana Anya Siddhi Sri Zambaduzadu Zamaya Manovalaya Baduzadu Denova Dedu Mebova Zudogaya Mebova Zubogaya Mebova Anaradu Mebova Salvazidi Mibreya Zaragama Zudame Zedum Zedum Guru Hong Sarada Dagada Baruma Nemuzavende Bava Maha Samaya Satu Se dusu sumge guru randa je guru ganda dewa jamboja baje gunza jodo bosa do wado so jinja sadu so jinaza we bade jovada samba duge juba jinje go. Then I may ask 10 minutes over 5 minutes. Sit in basic goodness. How do you sit in basic goodness? Relax. Right now, and rest. Breathing gently in, breathing gently out. All parts of the body rest. It's amazing how quickly 2 hours go. It's amazing how 73 years go. Fleeting and fragile, but ever so precious. Live your life, dream, involve yourself in the craziness
of the passion of living, but do so with a kind heart to be of benefit to others. Don't miss this life, as Lama Kazi demonstrated and said. We can barely remember yesterday morning. So to know the life that will come, who knows? But what you do know and can be aware of and conscious of is this present moment of wakefulness. Wake up. The challenges and the troubles, they come and go. Learn and practice to be even ever so. Things rise and things fall. You laugh, you cry, you struggle and strive. But at the end of the day, never lose your basic goodness. Never give it away. And in the midst of the chaos of the turmoil of samsara, gently roll your boat. It's just a dream. Rest your mind. Be free. Last night, Lama Kazi told me, when thoughts arise, look to the thinker and let go. But then we say, who is looking and who is the thinker? And he would say, that's thinking. Let go. But who is looking? The dog chases its tail once again. Sit down, rest, let go. Take refuge in the peace and harmony that lies within. This is the true place we must begin. It will not be found outside, and it can be brought to the furthest ends of the universe. It cannot be sought. It is only when we become still and quiet and sit, when we stop and look within and just rest. And as the Coda says, that is the moment it begins. Breathing in, breathing out, and come to the gesture of equanimity. And recognize no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. All is intrinsically primordial ground emptiness, but appears like a dream, a reflection, an apparition, an echo. Appearing but empty, empty but appearing. Recognize. 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 Breathing out.
Second way, one was in guns of the temperature, one and two and two, pick up the good. Look, and they got good and George and you poke and German love and the Jibby, Mr. got good, but they got it, on to this game and then gave a billion. They got to do nothing by ye. Them better than you now. Something which you do not gentlemen and message you go get the don't go so gently do good. So now did it, Tamji, Zimbabwe, Tati, Nibi, Dona Pamja, Shen. Get it, Nijo, Baba, Truba, Ye, Shippy, Soda, Juba, Juba, so. Jamba Barua, Junda, Dinda, Dan, Gundo, Zumbo, Dunya, Deji, that the good Doja, Jena, Jan, go out to the Ratu. Yeah, Pabden Lamego said about the Gayam, you what you, the Shuma, that the goodness. Non dos engage a large of Pajo, Tembe Beggar, I measure, this engage pussy, didn't you like it? Tembe no dodger, baggy, Tumba, you in then they no Jemba, said to the bed, and as you bed, and some have made them pass it, the pass it to the Suku Mason, Gucci, Genzo, and Jordan, Doje, Mage, Banam, Gego, Jake, Banam, Baye, go to so. Kazo daye don't wait on dojo goye dojo sembeje dojo natural but they make on the tambaram da tashi da Kaya ta unga de better some got the body so dai da monga de better some got the body so dai da monga de better some got the body so so as we said earlier let go of what is past. Let go of what may come. Let go of what is happening at this very moment. Don't try to figure anything out. Don't try to make anything happen. Then simply he says, relax right now and rest. Milarepa, we don't chase enlightenment. We don't run away from samsara. Something called enlightenment. Who knows? Sit on our seat and practice. And as Rinpoche said, perhaps for an hour. Breathing in, breathing out. Your idea, so basic goodness, please arouse, elevate your consciousness and recognize it is already among the stars. Do so for the benefit of all sentient beings. May all of your endeavors be blessed. May they be free of obstacles. May they be clean. And perhaps, maybe one more cycle I can visit with you. We shall see at what moment I am through. But until then, we shall enjoy and practice and live life in merriment and joy. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Peace, harmony, and joyousness. Do something fun. As Abriel told me last night, be safe, have fun. Goodbye.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Rinpoche.
Oh, thank you.
Birthday, Rinpoche.
And Dawala and Z, I will call you shortly, so please answer.
Bye.
Berna, my compatriot.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.